Welcome back. We are on Awakening Episode 2. Now, as you may have noticed from this one and the last one, my packages are not labeled Awakening. They are labeled just Episode 2. This is because they didn't start labeling Awakening for about another year and a half after this one was produced. Like I've said, mine is one of the more early numbers, so there is some differences. Okay? So let's open up Episode 2. We got all kinds of good stuff here. Ooh-wee. Okay, so set this aside. Now, if you'll look, this one was inspected by JN. Okay? That is Jacob Nielsen. Apparently got a new inspector for some reason. Don't know why. None of my business. So maybe it changes each time. We were given a black light, so obviously there's going to be something black lighting. Maybe I'll play with it right now. See, maybe I'll find something. I printed this, so I doubt it's there. Let's take a look. Let's take a look at John William James. Maybe he did something. Maybe there's something we can look at with John William James. It might be a different episode this shows up in that we have our in. Yeah, I don't see anything on here. Let's see, maybe there's something in here. I don't see nothing. Let's see anything. No. Yeah, I don't see anything. This might be used in a different episode. Okay, so we will start with our Listening Friends of America letter. Let me put this. Get in there. Put it back in the envelope. Okay, here we go. Dear listening friend, this is again from George Madsen. He's vice president now. He's lead encouragement officer. Now, LEO is also a statement for a law enforcement officer. Maybe he's starting to work with police. Maybe he's trying to tell us that he's working with police without trying to arouse suspicion. But we'll see. I mean, I'm sure it'll come out. Dear listening friend, we here at Listening Friends of America are excited you have decided to continue your voluntary enrollment in our charitable organization's flagship program. You are a key member of our family, which includes other volunteers like you all over the country. I would also personally like to remind you if there's any indication of suspicious activity to please contact your local law enforcement or to write us, explaining in detail your concerns and including a list of any evidence corroborating your suspicions. We're all too happy to ensure a pleasurable and safe experience for our family. Please rest assured that your identity and location are never revealed to your friend. Well, that's nice of them. Again, he keeps telling us that our things are not given to our friends. So, I don't know, that's kind of the second time they've mentioned. I'm wondering if something's going to come up. Maybe he's going to find us or something. I don't know. It could happen. Okay, John William James's letter. Let's take a look. See what the... There's also our dragon tooth in here that, if I can find it. What is this? Is this my dragon's tooth? See? Now, I have a better picture for you right there. Wow, that's actually pretty... Is that really a tooth? Oh my, that really is a tooth. Oh wow. They really went all in on this one. Okay, let's take a look. My dearest friend, I do look so... I can't read, okay? It's one of those things. I do so look forward to when I may write you again. I was once a poor wretch, lost in the past. These letters give me a chance to use a certain amount of something which I find the F and the I are kind of pinched together, both motivational and cathartic. Did you enjoy the article I sent last time? In all my ecstasy in finding a friend to listen to me, I neglected to mention a thing about it. Do you think that a funny thing? I can tell you I am amused. Do you think that a funny thing? I never had a friend quite like you. Most people will not have an experience with a one-sided pen pal, to be sure. But I, looks like there's two spaces there, feel there is something quite special between us. Yes, something special is happening. Do you feel it? Though we have not yet met, I'm certain of the truth in this. As I write this letter, I am reminded of one of my favorite works of art, The Dragon Devouring the Companions of Cadmus, by Henrik... Yeah, you can sound that out yourselves. Have you seen it? The expressiveness in the dying eyes of the men draws me every time. I'm thinking that's what this is. But if you'll notice, the eyes, the expressiveness of the eyes are gone, because the eyes are gone. So he must want me to look at the eyes. So we'll take a look at that. Every time I used to see it, the way he captures their shock at the discovery of such a horrific beast, again, the FI is scrunched together, in such a seemingly pastoral setting, is unparalleled, of course. They don't let us view such grotesque imagery. It's far too upsetting. Yes, do look at it and, should be a D there, you may agree. However, I can see whether I not infrequently close my eyes. Such brilliance cannot be contained to the real world. I have requested that they send a copy of, believe it or not, the etching to you with this letter. I am certain they will ruin it with their censors. When you receive it, study it. When you have memorized every line, as I have, close your eyes as I do, and we will be joined in ritual. So eagerly await the experiences we will share at the beginning with that day. When I feel you have done what I have asked, here I am, again, looking to the future. I have to thank you for this. I feel as though Janus may have felt. I cannot help but wonder if Cadmus felt this way too. You're my curious friend, understand. You know to look for what is beneath the surface, absorbed in the deeper meanings of life's trials. Anyways, remember, though I look to the future, it is also important to look back. Thank you for being there where you are. And remember, here I am. Always, John William James. P.S. An inspector here, a rare character, owes me a favor. He will send you a file on Lloyd McGowan, a fellow resident. I believe his treatment unfair, even by the standards here. He would be free now had it not been for a dubious 1967 murder. I cannot look at his file. No staff member here would bother. You, my curious friend, will find details to contest his guilt. Is that an order or is that a request? Now, it says, here I am twice. I'm supposed to use these eyes to do something. Let's take a look. Let's put the here I am. Oh, I'm posting this on here for you. Okay, you'll be able to see it when I put it up there. Okay. Discover, don't believe them here. Apparently I'm not supposed to believe anybody. That's fascinating. He also included a poem, which, I wrote you a poem, my friend, yet wise in hope that you'll see my words with care. I wrote every line with open eyes. Remember the tale of Cadmus, and remember his friends when peace they found before the dragon their flesh did rend? Here I am, the wellspring, which is written backwards, of friendship, and you trust your friends, no doubt. But remember, dear Cadmus, remember his friends or who you will be when this story ends. Some would tell you to lock me up, every key thrown away, my place, also backwards, forgotten. So we got wellspring, place. Even you, dearest friend, tempting as I know it may be, to rip this poem, toss the pieces into holes. Into holes. We can't live separately. Throw away these lines, he wins. Here I am, dearest friends, a piece of me. Well, here I am is back. So what does that do to me? What is this? There's nothing on the back. I had to do this backwards. Oh, wait a minute. See truth, he wins. That's fascinating. I don't understand what these messages are about. Apparently he's trying to sneak us something. Okay, well, we'll move on. So next we have the Lloyd McGowan poster. Now, Dragon's Teeth. Let's see. The Dragon's Teeth, I remember. Okay, Cadmus. The story of Cadmus, I'm recollecting this from years ago in high school. He was sent by one of the gods to create a settlement. They went to fetch water from the well. He sent his men to go fetch water from a well. And when they did so, it was guarded by a dragon. The dragon killed his men, and Cadmus went back and killed the dragon. Okay? what he did is he took the teeth from the dragon and he planted them. I think he took 5 of them, planted them into the ground, and warriors sprouted up. Now, the only reason I actually know this story, come to think of it, is because it was on Star Trek Voyager. I'm dorking out here, but that's how it is, okay? And so the fact that he's giving us dragon's teeth, is he planning on planting us as his warriors? Is he recruiting us to be in his army? I mean, with him being as special as he is, being so grandiose, it's possible. Okay? Now, this is the file folder. And we will... This... It's kind of bent. Okay, let's take a look. Okay. Psychiatric admission. He was not voluntarily put in. He has substance abuse, and he has past hospitalizations. He was born July 17th, 1941, and he was admitted July 7th, 1967. That's pretty interesting. Maybe I'm thinking about it wrong. Okay, so mother reports ongoing intermittent periods of violent behavior and suspected neurological disease observed since infancy. Father's not present, and he was admitted to the L.F. O'Brien Asylum. That was mentioned in the article that somebody from the O'Brien Asylum called them. I wonder if it was him. Could be. Patient has been observed, evaluated, and determined that he or she should be accepted for further evaluation before release from treatment. I hereby, with authority granted to me by free will, commit the above individual to the care of the hospital. And this is something... I can't read their name. It's a guardian. It's probably his mom. McGowan. Yeah. It's like Celia McGowan. Is that what the name is? Wait a minute. I'm sure her name is in here. Mother is Aofi? Oh, yeah, Aofi. It was on the other page. Okay. Incident report from July 18th, 1967. Reported by Robert Zakowski. He's a staff custodian. July 18th, 1967, 1400 hours. I was mopping up after lunch when he, McGowan, started following me. I thought it was just wanted to watch me work. You know, a lot of them do that. But he started acting nervous. He was scared or something. I got real uncomfortable, so I turned my back on him. I should never do that. And as soon as I did, he swiped at me. Tore my uniform too. Told me the boss... I told the boss it wasn't that bad, but he made me pay for a new one. Anyways, the orderly came and took him, McGowan, back to his room. I think they locked him in there. So he was locked in there on July 18th-ish. Okay, here we got some kind of an attack. McGowan, he was injured in the exercise yard. He's got both arms and the upper chest, 1-inch cut on the chest, contusions on the chest, scratch marks on arms. Okay. Oh, I'm thinking that they're going to give us more details on the other side. These are just the medical records. So remember that September 13th, 1967, he had a confrontation in the exercise yard. And then on September 14th, next day, the very next day, he tried to hurt himself in his room. Excuse me. His number's 952, by the way. Okay, his head, both arms, chest, nose, and both hands. Contusions on the face and forehead, scratch mark on his arms, contusions, chest, and wrists. Discovered in room, nervous fit, may have hit wall with head repeatedly. Okay. Next, we have an autopsy of Grayson Lillian Grayson, 6/18. This was on September 27th, 1967. So she probably died. Oh, yeah. She died the 26th, 1967, roughly 2,300 hours. She was 28 years old, female, 64 inches, which is what, 5'4", 110 pounds, red hair, blue eyes. Okay. G. Smith was there. J. Milieu was there, or Miller, rather, and W. Lowe was there. Blunt force trauma to the head, unidentified object, likely a wrench or tool. Skull fracture, back of the head, left orbit collapsed, multiple stab wounds, 1 neck, 2 in the palm, right hand, 13 in the abdomen. Okay, bruising present with effusion of blood in the vagina, inflammation of the vulva, seminal matter present. So she may have been raped. May have been graped. Heightened levels of progetin and estradiol in blood. Oh, she was pregnant. Cause of death was blunt force trauma. And that's George Smith. Ooh, George Strait. I was getting my country music on. Okay, and that was the last of this page. Okay, so this is his initial intake from, I guess, when he got put in voluntary. He had alcohol, substance abuse. This was reproduced in August 1997. Saying he had violence, alcohol, substance abuse, and the scope was unknown. They didn't say anything about... Oh, yeah, they did say substance abuse over here. Okay, it's dangerous self, cognitive evaluation, obtain medical records. Looks like he was never hospitalized. Ever. I have observed and evaluated the above patient and determined that he cannot be released in voluntary treatment to accept treatment on a voluntary basis. Okay. There's an incident report, 8-22-1967. That is not one of these. Before these. Patient resisted curfew this evening. Orderly could not physically move the patient from hallway into his room for the night. Confrontation escalated and patient shouted, "Bed," several times before calling out for his mother. A second orderly arrived to assist, and the patient struck the second orderly in the side of the head with his fist. This was the second incident of a violent nature in the month's time. Patient will be under closer supervision for the time being. It's possible the patient is lashing out at male figures that remind him of his dad. Dr. William Richter. Let's look at this. Was there... July 18th, this was a month after the one that was in the older copy. He's placed on close supervision. Okay, next. Okay, 9/13/1967, patient incident again. Patient was in an exercise yard. Yeah, we got the medical report on this, muttering to himself. Other patients and staff have reported that among muttering, they heard him say the following words and phrases: "Pilot, never be good, blew him up, said I can't do that, dad now, blue, special." Our nurses and orderlies observing him report that his behavior is upsetting several of the other patients in that vicinity. Another patient asked number 952 to please be quiet, and that is when 952, McGowan, attacked him. He flung himself over the other man and struck him repeatedly, alternately with his fists open palms. I have decided to take more direct interest. Okay, patient was removed and placed in his room and restrained. He has been deemed dangerous to others, and we will decide appropriate medical treatment. So he's restrained constantly as of 9/13/1967. That's, 2 weeks before this murder was on the 26th? So I wonder how long they left him there. That might be what we're looking at. Okay, the treatment plan. Lloyd McGowan, 9/20/1967. That's a week later, 6 days before this murder. William Richter, medication and quarantine. Patient to begin medical treatment with Malaril? Ooh. That's a sedative, I believe. Heavy sedative. Patient to be placed in quarantine in new room 316. Full behavioral quarantine in effect. Restrain patient and keep the door locked. Orderly on duty to check him hourly until curfew at 2100. Follow-up evaluation in 3 months' time. So wait a minute. So he's restrained and sedated in this room, checked on hourly with the door locked. There's no way he could have gotten out of there. Okay, here we go. George Madsen, which this I think mine has a typo because if you look at the Listening Friends Facebook group, which I may post on here for y'all to peruse, George Madsen didn't start at Listening Friends until 1998, but this is just showing he was vice president in 1997. This could be a typo. Maybe it was 1998. Maybe I just have a messed up copy. Dear Madsen, thank you. Dear Mr. Madsen, thank you again for taking time to come to an agreement that works for both of us. Patient 952, Lloyd McGowan, will be transferred to your facility in Darlington, Maryland on Thursday, October 2nd. This is 1997, like 30 years after the murder. Okay? October 2nd. All of his files you will find in this package. I do hope you can offer him a fresh start. I look forward to having him far away from me. I, too, long for simpler days. Please do not hesitate to call me if you need anything from me or my staff. In the meantime, I am what? I guess I am sincerely yours? And he's the L.F. O'Brien Asylum. William Richter, I guess he's vice president of the asylum there. He is something. Again, maybe this. Yeah, I got Brooklyn. I don't know. Okay, this next is a letter, Heather from George, probably George Madsen. Let's reduce Mr. McGowan's medication. I'm curious about what, if anything, he has to say. So let's go back to my notes on episode 1. I believe she was found dead on the 30th after having been autopsied. Let me take a look. This is why I keep good notes. A good detective always keeps excellent notes. Yeah, since September 30th, 1967, she'd been dead for 3 days at least. So she would have been dead, for at least 2 days, 36 hours. So she would have been dead probably 27th, 28th, and had the Y incision. So they probably dumped her body after doing the autopsy from O'Brien. So, what else we got? So we know for a fact that it couldn't have been him because he was sedated and everything else, but who was it? She was pregnant and appeared to have some sexual activity. So this makes me believe that whoever offed her was, whoever the killer was officially, was the father of that child. Okay, so, and it's probably a staff member, because a staff member could get in and out with the remains and would ultimately have a reason for offing her. Okay? Because in most states you cannot have intercourse with an inmate because they're considered non-legal residents or something of that nature. Okay, so let's go to the online. Let's look at these notes. I'm going to put the video on here. Okay, now this one is going to be Jacob Nilsson. There we go. Okay, it's going to be JN013M2AC. Okay, that's going to be our password. Okay, my jump out of the way here. JN013M. Okay, and there's our password, JNOAC. Okay. Then we're going JNO13M2. Then we put the password in again, JN013M2AC. Come on. Okay, and that's going to bring up our things. There it goes. Took it a second. And yes, Jacob Nilsson is our thing, and there I'm taking a picture of it for y'all. Okay, so here, look for leaks, some residue. Oh, it's suggesting that he should look for some leaks, because there's some residue on the back of the John William James letter. I looked at it. I didn't see anything with the black light. Maybe I'll get a stronger black light and try it from there. If so, I'll do an addendum when we get to episode 3. The Listening Friends of America. Nothing unusual here. George being stuffy as usual. I don't think this Mr. James's tooth. This is such an interesting picture. The dragon print is an interesting picture. Again, Mr. James did an arts and crafts. Very talented. Wonder why I chose to leave some areas blank. Mr. James' poem. Mr. James really is an amazing man. Well, this guy's really sucking up to Mr. James. Well, okay, so here's where we stand. John William James is apparently grooming us to be warriors by giving us these dragon's teeth. He's trying to discreetly get us to look into the murder of Lillian Grayson, number 618. Lloyd McGowan was convicted of it. She was pregnant, and the stabbing was to end the baby, unfortunately. Probably a staff member was the father. Lloyd was too medicated to have done this. He was also secured, locked in his room. I mean, there was no way he could have done it. Okay? There's also some odd contradictions in McGowan's file. Whether he was previously hospitalized or wasn't. There's also a date of birth issue. So we got some things to look at. But I'll go ahead and catch you on the third one. We're going to check out the back of that letter. If so, I'll add an addendum to number 3 before we get started. Catch you on the next one.